Hi, I'm Lacey Scadden, Head of School for Colorado Early College's Fort Collins West Middle School. Thanks for joining us as we define what our guiding principles are here at Colorado Early Colleges. We really work on character and building character. We do that through our Elevate class as well as all of our classes. It's important that as a middle school, we're working on character and becoming good people as we also learn how to study and do academics. Each month, we have a different character trait. Today, you're going to hear from our teachers on what these character traits mean to them, how they've developed them over the years, and how we instill them in our students. In August and September, we celebrate scholarship as we're coming back to school. Scholarship is a person who's driven in the area of excellence, to learn as well as to do whatever it takes to do their best in the area of academics.
Actually, a lot. I really enjoyed learning when I was in school, elementary, middle school, high school, college, but I love learning now. I just love finding out why do things do what they do. It's just really, I've grown a lot more in my adult age in the area of learning and scholarship and working hard.
Well, now I research and look into things that I'm really passionate and interested in. So back in school, a lot of it was guided. Now I am teaching myself stuff.
Scholarship, kind of has that academic piece to it, but really scholarship for me as an adult and having kids myself, it's really just putting forth the best effort you can do in anything that you do.
I wasn't a very good student when I was young, and so it took a long time, but now I think of scholarship as something I want to do as opposed to something I have to do. And so I spend a lot of time reading or playing with new math problems because it's interesting to me, and so definitely changed there.
So in school it was all about getting the good grades or applying for colleges. You have scholarships, trying to earn that extra money to help pay for school. But where I am now, a scholarship is just that desire to learn, to want to know more. Especially as a teacher, I'm trying to help kids know more, and I myself am trying to learn more of how to be a better teacher, how to be a better husband, how to be a better friend, brother, all those types of things. And I feel like for scholarship, it's that just wanting to learn and be better.
So scholarship changed for me when I was younger. I didn't advocate for myself. I didn't feel I had a voice. And so as I've grown and as I've matured, I've learned I need to speak up for myself. I wish I'd known that when I was younger. So now, scholarship, I can advocate for myself, get what I need so that I can learn what I need to learn, and that helped me getting my bachelor's degree and master's degree as an adult.
Well, when I was a kid, they kind of just wanted you to get through it. And it wasn't something that they really cared about the individual. And so that has definitely changed today. Everything is student-centered and there to help the student buy into their education. I really wish I'd been going through school at this time.
So I specifically joined the military because I had zero interest in college. I didn't want to go for higher ed. I didn't see at the time a lot of purpose in it. And then life very much told me that wasn't going to happen. And so I got to see the benefits of it, and I got to find a route where I could continue my service for others. Instead of like in a direct role with the military, now it's a direct role in education, helping other people get better and learn lessons and life lessons and move on.
In October and November, we practice gratitude. A person of gratitude shows an appreciation and a gratefulness in numerous and kind ways towards others.
Usually just thanking me for my help, and chocolate is good.
People show me gratitude through the kindness that they give, the respect that I am given for either as a person or even as my profession, and kind words, deeds that are done sometimes, because sometimes it's just a smile. And sometimes it's just a, hey, you're doing a good job, or keep up the good work, or, so yeah, that's kind of how I feel that I feel like I'm being appreciated.
Yeah, they just tell me that they appreciate what I did.
I think the biggest way to show gratitude is kindness. That's kind of the umbrella for all gratitude.
People usually know to be very direct with me, so they try to just generally say thank you, because I miss the subtleties sometimes. That, or they also, they'll keep coming to me for information, like, oh, I guess my opinion is, you like this. All right, thank you for, seeing me as someone you can come and get advice from, get solutions from, get help from. So generally that's it, either direct or, repeat use.
Hey, thank you. I think verbally hearing somebody thank you for what you've done is, I feel, like they've given me gratitude.
For me, gratitude, when people are showing it to me, it's always like just a thank you, or even just a smile shows that someone appreciated what I did. Or sending me a message about something, or when we have the drops in our buckets here at CEC, getting a drop always knows that I'm appreciated, which is always nice.
They show me gratitude. Usually it's pretty cool. People will just basically give me a high five or a hug and just genuinely say, hey, thank you very much. I really appreciate it. And to be honest with you, that means the most to me.
In December and January, we practice service. Service to others means being unselfish. It means doing something for someone else without expecting a reward or a gain.
So the best service project I've done is when I first moved here to Colorado, I was given the opportunity to be a volunteer teacher at the Juvenile Detention Center in Greeley as the sewing and quilting teacher. And I was also awarded a community member award for that volunteership, and it was just an honor to work with at-risk youth.
Starting a church, reason I say that is because we serve the community a whole lot, and went out and did backpacks and supplies for schools, giving out water during a hot day in a park. Just had a lot of fun helping other people.
Oh, wow. I've had several while I lived in Southern California. We had a very, very bad earthquake called the Northridge earthquake, I think in the early 90s. A lot of damage. So I got to help at a food line, serve food to people that really needed help.
One time helping build a playground. So they had a lot of old tires and chains, and it was a big project actually. And so just helping, set the pilings and put the tires in there. It was a good weekend.
When I was in high school, I volunteered for a place called the ARC, which was an organization for kids with developmental disabilities. So I worked with them.
So when I was in college, I went on a trip with a group of guys to Mexico to help out a school in one of the poorer neighborhoods of Monterrey, one of the cities down there. And we helped renovate the school there and give them some home improvements. It was a week-long project, so we only were able to do so much, but it was still a good experience to see kind of what other people are going through and doing a little something to help give back to them and give them a better opportunity in their schools.
When I taught in Wisconsin, I was part of an after-school club for world languages, and we put together a community-wide rummage sale. So it was kind of like a double benefit. Not only did it help the people in our community because they could find things for a cheaper price that they needed or wanted, but then all of the money that we raised, we sent to a Haitian relief fund.
There were the two that jumped to mind, both with different organizations I've been with. When I was helping out as an adult leader with Young Marines, we did something called First Harvest. It was a food donation plan. We'd start dividing out the donations into deposits for food banks in the area. So making sure people in the community were being fed was a very fulfilling project. And then also another one I was in was called Bikes for Books. Our organization would get a hold of lots of kids' bikes. We'd set them up in schools and libraries. And the thing was, for every book you read, you got a ticket. Well, at the end of the time, we draw and find out, so we're improving childhood literacy, but also, hey, someone's gonna get a nice bike out of this. And so, yeah, just either helping with people being fed or being mentally stimulated would be my two big ones.
In February and March, we practice leadership. Leadership is when a person can positively influence the lives of others. They have a vision of what can be. They know the way, they show the way, and they go the way.
This is a tough question because, I could name like a world leader or somebody from history who's been really influential. But honestly, and it might sound really cheesy, but my teachers, like all of my teachers, each have had a part in who I am.
I would have to say that the influential leader was a college professor of mine years ago. Her name was Chalma Frost, Dr. Chalma Frost. She was the most incredible musician I've ever met next to my dad. And she taught me how to be a leader in the classroom and how to take leadership on myself and not wait for it to be given to me.
So I get a lot of influence from my parents. And so I kind of think about what they would do in that situation. If I don't do what they've done in the past, it usually doesn't work well for me. So I try to do what they would do.
Both my parents, my mom and my dad.
For me, I would say my dad. He's the leader in a sense of our family. He's always been inspiring to me, just always puts in hard work, always taught us how to be a good person, how to handle our problems and never give up trying. Even when things got difficult, he always pushed us to be doing something extra with our lives. He wasn't satisfied with us just sitting on the couch playing video games or watching TV or something. He wanted to make sure that we were always doing something to make us grow, and I found that inspiring. And as a soon-to-be father, someone I look up to is who I want to be. So.
Well, in real, actual breathing life, I had a lot of good non-commissioned officers when I was in the military, but being a social studies teacher, I also get to gain wisdom and knowledge from people that aren't necessarily alive anymore, people I've never actually met. But I could definitely, the few that jumped to the top of my head were the Roosevelts, Theodore and Franklin, Churchill, and Dick Winters of Easy Company, 101st, World War II. So the whole, don't give up, being a leader, not a boss, working through problems as they occur, and just putting yourself into getting a solution done.
That would be leadership guru John Maxwell.
My high school wrestling coach, he not only helped me become a better wrestler, but he helped me to look bigger and go to college. So I got an opportunity to do that, and then got my degree, and then, started working in education. So he'd been a pretty influential person in my life.
In April and May, we practice character. Someone with a good character believes that they should make good choices and shows over time that they almost always make good choices that are honest, respectful, fair, caring, and responsible.
Say what you mean, do what you say you will do. Learn to say no, because if you say yes too many times, then you're going to disappoint someone. And just don't overextend yourself. Do what you can do and help when you say you will.
It means doing the right thing when no one's looking.
So we had something called core values, but I find a better way of describing them is more in like common language versus what we actually use. So for integrity first, just be straight with people. Tell them what's actually going on, not what they want to hear or what you think you want to hear. Just, be direct, be straight, tell them what's actually going on. Service before self is, if there's something coming up and you have an option of things to do, pick the one that's going to help the most amount of people, not just yourself. Because odds are you'll find the one coming back to you more than the individual action, and you'll probably find that a lot more fulfilling. And the last, excellence in all we do. So whatever you're doing, go all the way at it. Do your best. Remember Santana said, if you're gonna sweep floors, be the best sweeper in town. So put your whole self into it.
You need to be trustworthy. If you're trustworthy, it means you're honest. And I think that speaks volumes in a person's life. And I think trustworthiness is a great characteristic because it allows people to come to you and they trust you. They can get advice for their own life, and that's pretty valuable.
Good character comes with just having, being honest or respectful, always doing the right thing. And most of the time you can tell what that is. You're not bullying people. You're giving a helping hand if you see someone struggling with something, or if someone falls or drops their papers in the hallway, running to class. You stop and help them pick it up, even if that means you're going to be tardy. Of course, you always want to be on time for class, but if you're stopping to help someone, then I think that's a reasonable excuse to be tardy to class. So just different things like that, doing little acts of service or showing that you care about people, being kind to them, that's all having good character.
To have good character, it really means to have kindness, to lead with kindness, and to lead with empathy, and to be true to who you really are.
I'll be honest, good character means everything to me. If I've got good character, that means I'm good to the world and I'm helping the world. And then that means I've got a good reputation. So good character means everything.
I remember a statement years ago. Someone said, the only thing that you can control is your integrity. And that is so true. So for me, character is controlling my own integrity. If I am as honest as I can be and as truthful and doing things to the best of my ability, that's my integrity. And that defines me more than anything else, because most of the time you don't have control over everything.
When we bring all these character traits together, we live in a grit and growth mindset. And that's where we sum up all of our character traits to be who we are, to have an attitude of grit and growth mindset.
When I did track and cross country, running practice isn't always the most enjoyable, especially in Florida. It's hot, it's humid, it's very tiring, and you're sore and tired. You don't always look forward to it every day, but you know that you have to put in that effort, you have to push through it. And then you see that growth after every meet, that my times kept getting faster and faster, and I saw that I was improving, and that's when I knew that I had to keep pushing and giving that effort in order to see that growth in myself.
Wrestling again. Anytime you get on the wrestling mat with another person who wants to beat you up, you got to learn how to give it back. And, that physical grit and stuff translates into your regular life. And I have been able to do that. It actually helps quite a bit when you've had to go through a physical struggle so that you can go through emotional struggles in a stronger way.
I moved here to Colorado 1 year ago, and I came from Wisconsin, and I lived in Wisconsin for 17 years. So really built up family and friends and connections, and that was really difficult to pack up and move all the way to Colorado.
When I graduated from college and I got a job in the oil field, I'm originally from New York, and so we don't really have oil fields there. And so getting thrown into that, there was a lot of stuff that I didn't think I could do that I did do, and I got good at it.
Hiking mountains and climbing mountains.
Grit and growth mindset for me is probably anything after Thanksgiving 2005. So I was in the military, I had the plan of going career, and then I got a career-ending back injury. So I got to work on, transitioning from civilian to military, or the military to civilian overnight, learning how to live and cope with a pretty debilitating injury. Also went to go work at college at the same time and working on supporting a family, fighting for disability recognition from people that didn't want to recognize it. And so it was a good couple of years slog, but I just kept, sticking to it, passing my classes, sending in the forms as they were required, and eventually I was able to get somewhere.
Going back to college as an adult and getting my bachelor's degree after many years of being out of school showed me how to have grit and growth and make it happen. So I had to show some real perseverance when it came to actually going to school? Because you don't learn the same as you do when you're younger.
Well, when I began to pursue my master's degree, that was a challenge because I wasn't that young. I was 31, and I had a new daughter in my life. And so it was challenging to go back to school with a full-time job as well and bust that master's degree.
Thank you for joining us. It's been so fun to hear from your teachers on how they've incorporated these character traits into their lives and how they bring them to the classroom. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time. Good night.